Hi, and thank you for joining me on this beautiful Monday, October 15th, 2018. I went back in time for a moment. I've got some exciting news. So what we're going to do is we're going to get going on this. Pull up my screen share. Pull up the broker or the actual trade that we're working, and there we are. When I went to sleep last night, this trade was sitting at negative $33.02. It's currently at negative 25.56 and fluctuating. That's a good news. That is awesome. Starting from the beginning, this is NZDUSD, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. And I've got a buy in here. And the buy is at 0.68310. And it's a 0.01 lot size. I've got little bugs flying around in here. So if you see me swatting, you know what. My stop loss is a 0.61310 going down in the 4-hour time chart. So you can see where that is. And it is currently sitting at negative 7,000 pips or negative $70 because it's a stop loss. That's as far as I'm willing to lose. That's why we're going to stop it if it hits there. My take profit is sitting at 0.75310, which is also 7,000 pips or $70. 1-to-1 ratio for a stop loss and a take profit. And I'll explain why in one moment. Looking at this chart, you can see that it is what is considered a naked chart because there's no indicators, no support and resistance, nothing on this chart. All you see is the entry price, the stop loss, and the take profit. The reason behind that is because of my medical issues. While I sleep at night, I go through grand mal seizures, which is the worst seizures you could have, and it clears my memory. So I have no memory whatsoever. And as the day progressed and I relearn everything, I mean everything, from getting up, moving around, doing what's needed, it's almost as if I were a 6-month-old child and I don't have a lot of anything. So I don't know who I am, where I am, or what I need to do, or anyone around me. It just doesn't, I don't know. So it takes time for me to relearn that, as well as relearn business, how to trade, and all the indicators. The indicators are so intense, so necessary, that it's near impossible for me to remember how to use them. That's why I do a naked chart. And let me show you why I'm in the daytime chart when I'm normally trading. Going back in the minute time chart, there's not a whole heck of a lot going on here. Not much to actually be able to see what's going on. And if you were reading a good story, you might have had maybe the first sentence. Not a whole lot of information, right? Going into the 5-minute time chart, once again, there's not a lot of information or what is going on. In this time chart, 5 minutes, you might have read the first paragraph if you're a fast reader. If not, you might have read the first 3 to 5 sentences. You still are interested, but you don't know what's going on with that whole picture, with the whole story. Going into the 15-minute time chart, you can see some movement here. And you can see some of the movement that I've actually been talking about. But once again, if you can trade with 30 minutes or less with all the indicators, do it. By all means, enjoy it and be the type of trader that you are. If you cannot, you're not going to get a lot of information to see where your next point, entry place, or what the trade is actually doing. The 30-minute time chart, yes, I can see more. There's more of the story here, and it goes back to September of 2018, last month. Not a whole lot of information, but at least I can see what the trade is starting to tell me. And with the indicators, you could do 30 minutes or less without an issue, no problem. And there are many traders that do just that. If you just started, I would not advise you to be on the 30-minute or less time charts unless you're doing a demo. And with a demo, you want to do at least 90 days before you start putting in your own money and trading in a live account. Going into the hour time chart, there's more information, and it goes back to July of this year, an extra 2 months, and you can see what's going on to a degree. With indicators, you would have no issue. Without indicators, can you tell me what's going on? You might have read the first chapter of that story. Maybe not, but you don't have the full picture yet. Going into the 4-hour time chart, many traders do right here without an issue. There's nothing wrong with trading in the 4-hour or less. By all means, if it's actually what you're comfortable with, go ahead and stay in it. It's not a problem. With me, I only go back to, this chart goes back to November of 2017, almost a year. Still not telling me the full story of this trade. That's why going into the day time chart, I can see what's going on because it's showing me clear back 3.5, almost 4 years. Wait, no, I was right the first time, 4.5 years, because January of 2014. So I can take a look at this trade and I can see the patterns that it's been doing. And that's why I'm so excited, because when I went to bed, it was at 33.02, and it is definitely flip-flop. It's definitely going into the direction I stated, because when you trade right, but you look left. Going back in this trade, where it's sitting right now, you can go back until it hits the first entry of where it's at right now, and that is it right there. Because the trend with every trade pair will always repeat itself. So I can verify and look at this chart and see that, hey, you know what? It's gonna go up. It could be right here with very, very well, or it could be back a little bit. Either way, it's going to turn and go up. It's going to go over our entry price and continue on the upswing because it touches 3 times, and that's the support or resistance, and it reverses. It does head and shoulders. It touches 3 times and goes up. It is going to be hitting our take profit more than likely within the next few weeks or so. Don't ever rush a trade. When you do a long-term trading like I do, I will be in a trade from anywhere from 4 to 6 months, if not longer, in that one specific trade. I do one trade with one pair until it goes into profit. And the reason for that is to keep my margin level over the 4,500, which is where it is now. But I don't feel comfortable if it drops below a 2,500 margin level. Most traders say, oh, you can go to 100% in your margin level, because that's when the brokers start to think, hey, you know what? They're losing too much of money, and they're not going to lose mine, so we're going to shut that account down, meaning they are stomped out. I haven't been stomped out. I have been in this trade since June 25th of this year. And being in this trade for that period of time, my balance started at $280. With some assistance, making my margin level up over the 4,500 point, I've actually made it so that my balance started at finished at $950. And as time progressed, the longer the trade is in, the brokers take a certain amount of anywhere from 2 to 12 cents out of after 24 hours. It's their regular fee that they will charge you. People have asked me, well, why don't you put in another entry price, an entry point? Because you obviously can see what's going on. And the answer to that would be because with this broker, they have a first in, first out rule, an FIFO, meaning the first entry price you put in has to be taken out before a second price can go out. If you're in profit with the second one and you're not in profit with the first, you're going to have to pull out the first one before you can pull out an additional, regardless of if it's a buy or sell. So it's smarter and less risky to only have one trade in, one entry price. People go, well, what about your risk? How much is your risk? My risk is only 7,000 pips. Or $70. So it's not that big of a risk for me. And I can change that if I wish to, but I won't be changing it until my stop loss is above my entry price. Once that's taken care of, all the amount that I was able to acquire, I will not lose. So I won't lose it, and I will be over the head of the game. And that's why I do what I do. I'm going to stop my screen share and see if there are any questions. Because I gave you quite a bit of information in that little time. Doesn't appear to be any questions. That just says that I explained it well enough that questions aren't needed. Going once, going twice, and gone. Thank you once again for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night or day, depending on where you are in the world when you see this. Bye for now.